All right, so here we go again. This time we will have I think, a pretty interesting review of some rare Cuban finds. You know, it's pretty rare enough to actually get a Cuban cigar, but to have some Cuban rarities is even more special. So I've got a few of them. I wanted to highlight those, thought you might enjoy it. And before we do, we'll do the obligatory watch check. And again, this is the Seiko Astron. Just a fantastic, if you want to get a solar watch that is incredibly accurate, has multifunctions, and is just a beautiful watch, I encourage the Astron. Today I have these Peruku boots from El Mexico. Just a great fish boot. Interesting boot. I don't wear it out too much, but anyway, let's get to the cigar. So I got the humidor open already, and let me adjust the camera here. I thought I had it adjusted, but apparently not quite. So let's take a look at what we've got in here. And today I'm going to go through what I think is just a phenomenal cigar. I'm surprised I didn't review it yet, but it is going to be this Romeo Julieta. And if we can focus in here, you can see this is a special edition. This is the Linea de Oro collection. And this one, oh, come on, camera, let's go. It likes to focus on the other ones, but anyway, let's see, there we go. So this is the Diamas. So, and I'll tell you the story about how I came across this, but before we jump into that, I want to show you a few others of these rarities. Of course, probably a non-rarity is this Partagas D. It's a very popular cigar. Again, the camera, of course, isn't going to cooperate. You can see it better down here. We got some Romeo Short Churchills, but San Cristobal is another one that is somewhat rare. You see La Habana. This is the Torpedo San Cristobal. That one's a little tougher to find. I have a couple other San Cristobals too. Well, let's see. But you know I'm doing a video. And, of course, I don't know how this camera focuses. Some Monte Cristos behind here. Some of these Bahiques. Well, this one, I did a separate video on this one. This is the Bahique, the La Casa del Habanos edition of the Cohiba. Sorry, not a Bahique, but I have some Bahiques next to it. And pretty rare find, and those are much sought after in Cuba. One of my favorites, the Oil de Monterrey Epicure No. 2, is just a phenomenal Cuban cigar. And then I've got a few other ones over here that I thought I would highlight, and then we'll get to smoking and we'll see how this Linea de Oro is. So I did a separate video on this Compe Segundo edition, special humidor edition. Compe Segundo is a famous Cuban musician, and I was able to get a limited edition humidor, and in here a bunch of Bahiques, and you can see they're well aged. We got quite a bit of a cigar plume on there. You can see that. So yeah, those are aging nicely. Beautiful cigars. Contrast that with, I guess you'd call it somewhat rare. These are cigars you might find in Vinales at the local manufacturer or local farm. And those are just some really good cigars. I had some really good luck with them. I like them a lot. A very rare set is this chest of, again, the San Cristobal's that I had mentioned before. So this came in this Anniversario chest. You can see the San Cristobal's in there. Again, I did a separate video on that. You can take a look at that. There's a story behind that. You can see I've smoked some of them. They're really good. Want to kind of save those if I can. And then last but not least, you know, anything aged is a rarity for Cuban if you can find them. And so these are just run-of-the-mill cheaper cigars in Cuba. The Quintero y Hino. These cigars, I don't think they had the price on them, but these are only like a couple bucks a piece, if that. But what makes them rare nowadays, of course you can see there's some good cigar plume on that too. And they're good cigars, they're mild. What makes them rare is that they're now going on 5 years old, going on 6 years old. So getting some good age to them. But nonetheless, so let's get to the cigar that I wanted to review, which again, this is the Romeo Y Julieta, the Linea de Oro. You can see it here. Just a beautiful cigar. I like the wrapper. It's a little darker. It's got a reddish tint to it. Maybe a little more red because of that table in the background. But nonetheless, it does have a reddish tint to it. So let's light her up. So as I said, this is a rare find. I was able to get it straight from the factory in Cuba, and I was able to make a little bit of a trade and trades a nice watch and get this wonderful, get a box of these, you know, which is really rare. I don't have the actual box, but I got the bundle. And again, we'll kind of look this up, and I'll tell you a little more about it, but I want to get it lit up. This is the Dianas, the Linea de Oro, Romeo Julieta. And I think these were released at the Habanos Festival a couple of years ago. So get it well toasted here. Thought I was having some fuel issues, but I got some other lighters here. Still, it pretty much lit there. Actually, I think I got it. So, this cigar perfect draw. It's fairly spongy. It's got a little bit of strength to it, which in Cuba, you almost come to expect them to be fairly mild. So it's nice that it's got that. And again, we'll look up here, Linea de Oro. Oh, we had it, I think. Yeah. Good draw again. A lot of fairly thick smoke, Very creamy. Cubans are known for their creaminess. It's burning fairly quickly, which, you know, you want to be careful with some of the Cubans because they're hard to come by, and you don't want them to go so quickly. So this is a 5 3/4, a 52 ring gauge. So a pretty decent size cigar for Cuban cigars. It's noted in Aficionado as being a medium strength. I would say that's about right. Aficionado reviewed it twice. They gave it a 90 score in June of this year, 92 score in May of 2022. And just making sure, yeah, that's the same cigar. The price on it here is listed in Lira at $35.20, but I think it's quite more expensive over there when I did see them in a La Casa del Habanos. They were quite more expensive. Let's see what we find. Trying to see if there's any other commemorative of the 145th anniversary of the Romeo Y Julieta brand. And so this site here online is Monte Fortuna is saying you can get a box of 20 of them for $1,095, which is a lot of money. So you're talking about a couple hundred. So, you know, 20 of them. So basic, well, no, sorry, it's $50 a stick would be $1,000 for 20 of those. So just over $50 a stick. Let's see who else reviewing. So it's got a little bit of harshness to it, which is unusual because it's been aging. I think I got it. I got it last year, maybe the year before. Nice flavor. Again, some leathery taste, a lot of cream to it, caramel, chocolate, a little bit of good flavor. So Half Wheel had some of these from Habanos. And again, their prices were pretty decent if you could get them. This is the longest of the three different sizes, the Dianas. I would say this is probably the one to get. I mean, I wouldn't turn down the torpedo or the other ones, but in terms of it's a little bit longer. The ring gauge at 52 is really a nice size. Pretty aromatic. So looking to see, there's not a lot online about them. See, it's holding the ash pretty good. Definitely, I got a few more of these. I'll keep them. And, I don't know, I was just in the mood to get a Cuban cigar. And I thought, let me smoke one of these. Smoke them while you got them, as they say. Celebrate the Browns winning yesterday, beating the Ravens. That was nice. So, let's see what Cuban Luz has to say about them. See if they've got them. So, Cuban Luz is showing they've got a box of 20 out of stock, actually. And they wanted $1,295 for them. So again, all Cuban cigars nowadays are going to be expensive. And especially any limited edition lines. So definitely some cedar taste to it there. They show it cedar, leather, caramel. I agree with that. It's well made. It's burning perfectly. Construction's good. I hear every now and then when people talk about Cuban cigars, especially those who don't really get them. Often they'll say, well, they're inconsistent quality. They're not the flavor profile. Varies a lot. I don't necessarily find that to be true. I've talked about it a little bit in some of my other videos about why I think you get some inconsistencies because you're not getting the real deal. Whether it be even in Cuba, sometimes they're not what they purport to be. So I'm pretty confident in this one that it is what it purports to be. You can tell the unique flavor profile. And I got it in Havana. But again, just getting a cigar in Havana doesn't mean you're getting what it says it is. So I'm finally going to ash it here after a good inch, maybe a little more of ash there, but I don't want it falling all over me. So yeah, so it looks like it came out in the 2019 Habanos Festival. And so pretty well aged, I'd say, which is what you want out of Cuban cigars. I really like the size. It's a good, perfect, like the 52 ring gauge is perfect. I think the length of the cigar is great. The Linea series, I think is, I'm not sure what makes them so special. Maybe special blends. I guess the boxes are beautiful. I wish I did have the box. I didn't get the box. So I guess that's the benefit of sort of getting it in trade that I got what I got, but I'm pretty happy with them. Continues to build on some strength, good flavor profile. No more than a medium. This is not a strong cigar. It is more so, obviously, than a mild. Otherwise, I'd be calling it a mild. But it's, I think it's right down the middle medium. I would say. Enjoyable smoke. Would I, if I take another trip to Cuba and I'm in a La Casa del Habanos, would I pick one up at $50 some a stick? Probably not. Yeah, that's a little too pricey. Comparing this to a short Churchill, again, it's got a different flavor profile, a little more aged. But I don't think I could justify the cost, because you can get a short Churchill for, prices are up on everything now over there, but I imagine somewhere in the $10 to $12 range. So would I pay 4 times that for this? I don't think so. In any event, all right, well, that's about all I've got. I'm going to finish smoking it. And hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see others on my travels to Cuba, look for those. But until then, we'll see you soon.